statement is to teach people how to create their own healthier, happier, stress-free days every day, no matter what. Welcome to the Happy Zone, where negativity is denied and positivity is applied. Today, we're going to talk about making the happiness decision. That's right, making the decision to be happy. You've made that decision, haven't you? Well, no? Well, you'll be a lot happier if you do make that decision. So you've got two choices to go through life. You can go through life happier by decision and choice, because it's what you've chosen to do, or you can go through life miserable and unhappy, living life by chance and circumstance, by default, if you will. And that's not a very good strategy. That's a tricky way to do it. Because that way, it depends on whether the lights are green or red when you go to work. It depends on whether there are any rude drivers. It depends on if your car starts when you get out to go to work. It depends on a lot of things. We basically live in a negative society. So if your happiness is dependent on chance and circumstance, chances are you're going to be more miserable than you are happy. So that's not a very good strategy. So the good strategy is to make the decision to be happy. And that's what we're here today to do. Unfortunately, most people use the other decision, living life by chance and circumstance. You see, life is a gift, but happiness is a decision. Even Abraham Lincoln, our great president, said, people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. So happiness is a decision. Even our Declaration of Independence, it is so important, it said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among them are life, liberty, and guess what? The pursuit of happiness. That's right. So it's time to invoke your greatest power. And your greatest power is one that animals do not have, and that's the power of choice. You have the power of choice, and that is the greatest power that you have. Only humans have it. Now, why is the happiness decision so very, very important? Well, see, once you make the decision to be happy, then the world makes way for happiness. You set your intention to be happy, the world will show you opportunities that you never saw before. Now, why is this? Because do you realize you're getting hit with about 2 million bits of information every second? Every second, 2 million bits of information are hitting your conscious and subconscious mind. However, only 4 to 6 bits of information, 4 to 6 pieces of information out of 2 million are actually allowed to reach your conscious mind. Why is that? Because if all 2 million hit your conscious mind at the same time, you'd fry your nervous system. You'd explode. You'd frazzle. You'd be done. You'd explode. That'd be it. Yikes, you're out of here. Okay? So why don't you fry? Why are only 4 to 6 pieces of information allowed to reach your conscious mind? You have a wonderful device in your mind. You have a wonderful mechanism, I should say, called the Reticular Activating System, or the RAS. Reticular Activating System. And what it does, it's a filter. And it only allows what you have told it is important to you. So that's why you only get 6 to 8 bits of information allowed in your conscious mind, so you don't fry your nervous system. Well, guess what your RAS allows to come through? That's right. The things that you have told it is important to you. That's why it's important that happiness be important to you. Think about it. Remember the last time you bought a car? Let's say you bought a Volkswagen. Well, when you're shopping for Volkswagens, guess what you start seeing everywhere that you never saw before? And after you bought a Volkswagen, don't you find you see Volkswagens everywhere? And you're thinking, my gosh, there's Volkswagens everywhere. Now, I just bought a Subaru not too long ago. So guess what I see everywhere now? Subarus in the parking lots, on the highway, where I didn't notice them before. Why is that? Because I did not set the intention before that was important. So that was all filtered out. That was not one of the 4 to 6 bits of information that reached my conscious mind. So I had a blind spot to that. Well, let's say all those cars, whether it be Volkswagens or Subarus or whatever your car was, let's say every one of those was an opportunity to experience joy and happiness. It was a place to be happier. But you missed it all because you had a blind spot for it, because your reticular activating system never knew that it was important to you. It was always there. It was filtered out. So, let's do a little exercise right now. I want you to look around the room that you're in. Just look around, and I want you, because this is a test, I'm going to test you on it. I want you to notice everything that is brown. So look around, memorize everything that's brown. I'm just going to need 5 more seconds. Okay? Okay? Now come back to me. Look right. Don't look around anymore. Now, in your mind, think about all the things that you saw were brown and where they were located. Got it? You probably remember several things. Now tell me in the room what was red. What? You didn't see any red. Well, what was green then? You probably didn't see any green. Or maybe you saw one, but look around. Do you see red when you look around? Do you see some green? Chances are you see a lot more than you didn't see before. Why? Simply because it was what you were looking for. You told your reticular activating system what was important to you to see. And so everything else was a blind spot. You cut it out. You didn't see it. What if all those red things, those green things, were opportunities to be happy, but you've been missing them all your life because you didn't realize to make the decision to be happy allows you to see happiness that you will never see until you make the decision. So once you make the happiness decision to be happy, guess what? Those rude drivers that you see, here's your homework. This is your fun work. Okay? You see a rude driver, you say to yourself, I've made the decision to be happy no matter what. What you do is your business. Somebody scowls at you, remind yourself, I've made the decision to be happy no matter what. What you do is your business. And just do that. Remind yourself consciously throughout the day so you set that intention that I've made the happiness decision. Now, in my workshops, I actually have a decision page. It says, I've made the decision to be happy. It has a place for you to sign at the bottom. Since you're not in the workshop, this is just a happy zone. If you will email me at larrydavis48@gmail.com, larrydavis48@gmail.com, and request the happy decision page, I will be happy to send that to you so you can read it, fill it out, and put it on your wall, and it will remind you of a commitment that you've made the decision to be happy. So, you made the decision. Now, you might be beginning to think, well, I've made the decision to be happy. Maybe that's not enough. Maybe there's more to it. And there is. You see, you can't just go to the bank and put in $1 and say, I'm rich. Now, you're richer, and you might be happier, but you're not rich yet. So, you got to keep making the decision and adding to it. So what's going to happen is, now that you've made the decision to be happy, you're going to see opportunities open up that you never saw before to be happier. But now we're going to begin teaching you how to be happier. And that, in the next episode of the Happy Zone, we're going to introduce you to the next power of happiness. Today, you got the power of decision and why it's so important that you make that decision. And now, in the next episode, I'm going to teach you another power that will give teeth to this decision that you've made. Remember, it's your life, it's your decision. Take charge, be happy. See you at the next episode.